YouTube for this Friday evening Bhagavad-gita reading. We are going to read from the 8th chapter of Bhagavad-gita, very beautiful verse today. And we'll also read the whole, collectively we'll read the whole verses. But before that, we will pay our respects to the spiritual masters, because without the help of the spiritual master, we cannot understand things on our own. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjan Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guru Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manubhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitascha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Vipasindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Gaur Premanande
Hare Hare Bol.
Okay, so I am going to start sharing my screen. And which chapter are we going to read from today?
8th chapter.
Chapter 8. And what's the name of chapter 8?
Attaining the Supreme.
And who is the
Supreme?
Krishna.
The Krishna.
Krishna is Supreme. All right. And here is coming up, sharing my chapter 8, Attaining the Supreme. All right. And we know the reading order already. Anybody else joined us while we were praying? No. Okay.
No.
All right. So, Kamal Radhe Mataji, you have the honors of opening the chapter for us.
Arjuna inquired, O my Lord, O Supreme Person, what is Brahman? What is the Self? What are fruitive activities? What is this material manifestation? And what are the demigods? Please explain this to me.
Who is the Lord of sacrifice, and how does he live in the body? O Madhusudana, and how can those engaged in devotional service know you at the time of death?
Hare Krishna Ji. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, the indestructible, transcendental living entity is called Brahman, and his eternal nature is called Adhyatma, and the self. Action pertaining to the development of the material body of living entity is called karma or fruitive activities.
O best of the embodied beings, the physical nature, which is constantly changing, is called Adhibhuta, the material manifestation. The universal form of the Lord, which includes all the demigods, like those of the sun and moon, is called Adhideva. And I, the Supreme Lord, represented as the Super Soul in the heart of every embodied being, am called Yajna, the Lord of Sacrifice.
And whosoever at the end of his life quits his body remembering me alone at once attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt, Hare Krishna.
Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, that state he will attain without fail. Hare Krishna.
Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt.
He who meditates on me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his mind constantly engaged in remembering me, undeviated from the path. He, O Partha, is sure to reach me.
Hare Krishna ji. One should meditate upon the Supreme Person as one who knows everything, as he who is the oldest, who is the controller, who is smaller than the smallest, who is maintainer of everything, who is beyond all material conception, who is inconceivable, and who is always a person. He is luminous like sun, and he is transcendental beyond this material nature. Hare Krishna ji.
One who, at the time of death, fixes his life year between the eyebrows and, by the strength of yoga, with an undeviating mind, engages himself in remembering the Supreme Lord in full devotion, will certainly attain to the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Persons who are learned in the Vedas, who utter Omkara, and who are great sages in renounced order, enter into Brahman. Desiring such perfection, one practices celibacy. I shall now briefly explain to you this process by which one may attain salvation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. The yogic situation is that of detachment from all sensual engagements, closing all the doors of the senses and fixing the mind on the heart and the life air at the top of the head. One establishes himself in yoga. Hare Krishna.
After being situated in this yoga practice and vibrating the sacred syllable Om, the supreme combination of letters, if one thinks of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and quits his body, he will certainly reach the spiritual planets.
For one who always remembers me without deviation, I am easy to obtain, O son of Pritha, because of his constant engagement in devotional service.
Hare Krishna ji. After attaining me, the great soul who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, who is full of miseries, because they have attained the highest perfection.
From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery wherein repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains to my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again.
By human calculation, 1,000 sages taken together from the duration of Brahma's one day, and such also is the duration of his night. Hare Krishna.
At the beginning of Brahma's day, all living entities become manifest from the unmanifest state. And thereafter, when the night falls, they are merged into unmanifest again.
Again and again, when Brahma's day arrives, all living entities come into being, and with the arrival of Brahma's night, they are helplessly annihilated.
Yet there is another unmanifest nature which is eternal and is transcendental to this manifest and unmanifest matter. It is supreme and is never annihilated. When all in this world is annihilated, that part remains as it is. Hare Krishna.
That which the Vedantis describe as unmanifest and infallible, that which is known as supreme destination, the place from which, having attained it, one never returns. That is my supreme abode. Hare Krishna ji.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than all, is attainable by unalloyed devotion. Although he is present in his abode, he is all-pervading and everything is situated within him.
O best of Bharatas, I shall now explain to you the different times at which passing away from the world, the yogi does or does not come back. Hare Krishna.
Those who know the Supreme Brahman attain the Supreme by passing away from the world during the influence of the fiery god in the light at an auspicious moment of the day, during the fortnight of the waxing moon, or during the 6 months when the sun travels in the north. Hare Krishna.
The mystic who passes away from this world during the smoke, the night, the fortnight of the waning moon, or the 6 months when the sun passes to the south, reaches the moon planet but again comes back.
According to Vedic opinion, there are two paths, O Arjuna. There are
Hold on for 1 second.
According to the Vedic opinion, there are two ways of passing from this world. One in light and one in darkness. When one passes in light, he does not come back. But one passes in darkness, he returns. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna ji. Although the devotee knows these two paths, so Arjuna, they are never bewildered. Therefore, be always fixed in devotion.
A person who accepts the path of devotional service is not bereft of the results derived from studying the Vedas, performing sacrifices, undergoing austerities, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical and fruitive activity. Simply by performing devotional service, he attains all these, and at the end, he reaches the supreme eternal abode.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Okay, time for reflection. What did you hear? You or read?
Yes, Mataji. I really liked the last shloka, Mataji.
Okay,
That-
if you're having background conversations, can you mute yourself so I can hear Vaishana Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yeah, go
A
ahead.
person who accepts the path of devotional service is not bereft of the results derived from studying the Vedas, performing sacrifice, undergoing austerities, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical and fruitive activities simply by performing devotional service. This sentence really touched me. Simply by performing devotional service, he attained all these. And at the end, he reaches the supreme eternal abode. So Krishna consciousness has made it so easy for us that just do the devotional service, and Krishna is assuring that you will surely reach me. So I'm feeling very consoled and satisfied.
Nice. Others?
For me, for one who always remembers me without deviation, I am easy to obtain, O Sannaprita, because of his constant engagement in devotional service. That is also one thing, and we constantly remembering him without any other deviation. So
Right.
that will also be a full devotional service.
Hmm.
Where because of his constant engagement in devotional service. That's what he says.
Mhm.
So the constant chanting.
Okay, 2 persons, only 2 persons. How about others? Come participate.
Because because the Lord is not impersonal, which is very hard then to focus on him because he doesn't have a form. But because if we know that he is a person, then it's very easy to, bring your mind back every time it goes back. to think of him.
That's a good point. Anything else? Anything else you heard?
Hare Krishna Mataji. What says that Kiran
says what?
I said that the true devotees, even if they know the two paths, the good and the bad, they are never confused. They always choose the right path, despite knowing the wrong one.
Very
so
good.
that means everything, there is clarity in their mind.
Right. Okay, what else did you hear? Nothing? Only all these three things you heard? You read so much. What happened? Work with me.
For me,
He's achintya.
Acintya, very nice.
Because his energy is beyond our conception.
Okay, nice. You read that in the English
And-
translation?
Yeah.
Okay. What else?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Like you see, Sukul Mataji said before this that Krishna, I mean the impersonal, Krishna is impersonal and we can see the form. But unfortunately, a person like me, when I'm not sitting in the temple and do not have the picture in front of me, and I'm chanting the holy name, and many a times you see Krishna doesn't come in front of me, means my eyes cannot see. I know that Krishna told Arjuna that you will not be able to see my Virat Rupa. I need to give you the spiritual eyes, and then only you can see. So, Mataji, in that case, how to, you see, attain, think that Krishna is, I can't look at Krishna because I do not have those transcendental sight, but he, of course, can see me. So can I continue with that? Means, will that satisfy my mind? I don't know.
There's a verse and it says, Athashi Krishna Nam Adi Na Bhaved Grahyam Indriye Sevon Mikho Hi Jivhadau Swam Eva Swaratya Ada. And so it says, Atha Shri Krishna Nam Adi. So Krishna's name, etc., which will mean Krishna's name, form, paraphernalia, his weapons, everything around him, right? So Atha Shri Krishna Nam Adi. Adi means etc. Na bhaved grahyam indriye. So from your senses, which is material senses, you cannot comprehend, see or feel or sense, right? With your material senses. Na bhaved grahyam indriye. Sevon mukho. So when you get unmukh, right? And you turn towards what? Unmukh means you turn your face towards something, right? To what? Seva. Right? So seva and mikho. So you are doing some seva. Now how are you doing the seva? Jivha adau. So jivha adau means, jivha means?
Tongue.
Adau means?
Express. Saying with the tongue. No?
Adau means? Don't guess.
Ucharing.
See, you remember? Adau Shraddha tatha sadhu sangha.
Yeah.
So adau means?
First,
right? So sevan mukohi jivha adau, in the beginning or first, you have to do service through your tongue. How do you do service to the tongue?
Chanting
the holy name of the Lord.
Only on the noun, and then also speaking about, glorifying the Lord, right? That is also a seva. And then also, what is the other purpose of the tongue? It's a
Taste.
Jnanendriya and Karmendriya, right? So Karmendriya, you said, chanting and reading and speaking.
Eating.
Yeah, tasting or eating.
Tasting.
Prasadam.
Devotional service.
Right. So prasadam. Okay.
Prasad.
Prasadam in proper quantity.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want people to have that excuse that, oh, I'm doing seva.
So I can have as much as I want.
So we don't want to do that, right? So sevan mukho jivado swayam eva sphuratya ada. So what's going to happen is that Krishna's name, pastime, paraphernalia, form, etc., which you cannot see with your material senses, then Krishna will manifest. Sphuratya means to manifest. So Krishna will swayam eva, he will manifest by himself. Right? So have faith in this verse that if you continue to chant, which is this is the proper process for this yoga, then he will show himself to you. So you don't have to wait. You will get that divya drishti.
Pakka.
Right? Swayam eva suratyada. Okay. So now,
Okay.
what else did you read? You read 28 verses.
When we think of Krishna, at the same time, you have to carry out your prescribed duties.
Right. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu man anuswara yuddha cha. That's what it said, right? Yeah.
I mean, I find it's slightly difficult to know what is the prescribed duty of a normal person.
Of a?
Normal person, people like us, who are neither...
Okay, now I have to ask you, who are the abnormal?
Yes.
Who are the abnormal? Then we'll talk about the normal.
Abnormal are those who do not perform devotional service towards Krishna.
Mataji, is that what you meant? She's a normal person. I'm asking her what is abnormal.
That is the balance, how to attain this balance. Like,
right. So, evam vrata swan priya nama kirtiya jatanurago dhritachutta uchchay hasati ati rodati rauti gayati unmadvan dhrititi lokabhaya. So there's a verse from 11th canto of Bhagavatam where he's saying that evam vrata, so one who has taken the vow to chant the holy names of the Lord, so priya nama kirtiya, then what happens? By these constant chanting of the holy names, you develop a love for Krishna. And so before the love, or even when the love is there for Krishna, then your heart melts. You know, hard-hearted and soft-hearted, right? So heart melts and becomes soft. So dhritachutta. Dhritachutta means soft-hearted. Then what is it? Hasati ati. You want to guess what that does mean? Hasati?
Smiling.
Huh?
Smile.
Hasati, hasna means smile. Hasna means laughing, right?
No,
she
said smiling. She said smiling.
So I'm saying no. Hasati means to laugh.
Oh, laughing.
Hasati, ati, jor se, loudly. Hasati, ati, roditi, rauti. So we'll get, roditi. We'll get angry.
Crying.
Crying also, roti, rauti. Gayati will sing also. Unmadman, completely bindas. Right?
Involved in that.
Unmadman, nrityati.
Always.
Lokabhaya, he does not care about what external people are thinking about that.
Mother, this shloka, please say it again.
I think it is 11 to 42 or something in that vicinity where the Nav-yogendras are talking to King Nimi. It's one of those, yeah. I think 11 to 40 or 42. I don't remember that correctly.
Okay.
So, so now my question to you is this normal or is this abnormal?
Mataji, with that, I found this, Brahma Bhuna Loke. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery when repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains to my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. So,
Okay, we hold on to that thought. Let us complete this one first, right? Because Mataji asked a question. We are trying to address that, answer to that, right? So how would that look? How will that behavior look if you are, will it look normal? Will it look normal? Like we have Harinam Kirtan and you start dancing in the streets.
it sounds, it looks like abnormal, but it is not. They're involved in that spiritual, this feeling that, like dancing and singing and chanting and whatever it is and everything they are doing. So they themselves are involved in with God's, that feeling. But outsiders might think that, oh, he's crazy, the dancing and like that.
Yeah. But according to a layman, if a person is passing by, what will they think?
We are abnormal.
Abnormal.
That's
That
what
we
I'm
are
saying.
abnormal.
They are abnormal.
Only devotees
we think that we
dancing
are
away
abnormal.
in Kirtan will, for them, everything looks normal and seems normal and is normal, but not
Yes.
for people passing by. But
Yeah.
in Harinam, lot of people are attracted to the music and they stand and listen. So
Yes.
they are kind of in between. They don't think it's abnormal, but they don't think it's normal, but they are attracted to it.
Yes, and I remember once I was in the Harinam in Palo Alto, a group of teenagers came by from high school. And they came and they spontaneously burst into dancing. Spontaneously.
That is
Now,
infectious, that tune.
right. It changes also from time, place, and circumstances. Like I remember when I was growing up, you would not eat standing on the side of the road. You would come home and sit on a table chair or sit on the floor, put it on the plate, and you'll eat. And now what we do, right? We eat in the car driving. We do everything in the car, right? But anyway, jokes apart, so I would like to point to the verse that Krishna said, Tasmat sarvesu kalechu mam anusmara yuthaja. Right? So you have to do your duty. In whichever ashram that you are, you will do your duty. That's what he's saying. So he was telling Arjuna, you have to do your duty. You're a warrior, you have to do your duty. And while you're doing your duty, you remember me. So what does it mean while doing your duty, you remember Krishna? What does it mean? Right? So let's take someone, okay, Varshana Mataji wants to say something.
Yes, Mataji, when we are doing our duty, like cooking or cleaning the house or whatever duty we are performing, even serving your husband, you see, at that time also, you see, this can be a service to the Lord, because Krishna is residing in him also, and Krishna, I'm serving him. And then you see, I'm cooking. I'm cooking for Krishna. I'm serving bhoga to the Lord. I'm cleaning the house. This is Krishna's house, so I'm cleaning it. So everything actually can be transforms into a devotional service, even normal service. Other people are also doing the same thing, but it is the thought which matters the most.
You got that, Kiran Mataji?
Yes.
We don't have to change what we're doing. It's the attitude that changes. You start doing the same thing, but you are pleasing Krishna. And the spouse will be so surprised. I'm talking about the spouse that Varshana Mataji quoted in the first place, right? That even he has got Krishna inside it. So our attitude changes, right? And at that point, when we see everybody as Mame Vancho Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana, that everybody comes from Krishna, then we will behave differently with everybody, right? And we'll tend to ignore. So once you start doing it, then the devotional service will automatically increase. Also, the response to the the spouse will also be surprised and the relationship improves. At least, when there is a fight, if one party, in our old times, at least that's used to happen, right? If the husband was getting angry, the mother would say to the daughter-in-law or the daughter that, "Tu chup ho ja."
Yeah.
You would fight, but two people fighting is going to create more problems, right? So that is why people people just say, okay, let's not agitate things. Let's try to calm things down. Okay. Now comes a question that, okay, now we talked about let's go and do my duty, and I will think about Krishna, right? So, what is your duty? So for that, the ashrams have been defined. So till 25, it is brahmacharya ashram, which basically means that you spend your time in studying, right? And you also remain a brahmachari, abstain from relationships with the opposite sex, but that doesn't happen these days, right? It's messed up. Kali Yuga is completely messed up, right? So anyway, that's what it was. Then from 25 to 50, you go into grihastha ashram. So there you will have family, you'll have kids, you have to take care of that. The mind will be focused on that. But again, while you won't get as much time as you got as a brahmachari to read the scriptures, etc., the time will be reduced. But at this point, you will spend your time raising Krishna conscious children, right? Taking care of the brahmanas, feeding the brahmanas, giving charity, earning money to do all that. So do that in the grihastha. And after that, from 50 onwards, you will go to the
Vanaprastha.
one basically means to the you will
Retired.
go to the forest.
Forest.
In the
One.
old days,
One means
you would go to one means forest, right? So you go to vanaprastha is what it was. Right? So vanaprastha means you give up all your attachment. Just 1 second, I'm getting a call. I'm just going to get rid of it. Yeah, so after that, people would go to the forest, and then later on, so after 75, if you're still alive, you take sannyas. So when a person is in the forest, the family can come and visit and things like that. And then after that, you take sannyas. Now in Kali Yuga, people rarely live beyond 75. And so sannyas is gone, and sannyas is actually not recommended a thing for during Kali Yuga. So you stay in the first 3 ashrams as a student, then as a grihastha, householder, and then as a vanaprastha. Now, interesting thing that they say is that, after 50, you should do that. And so if you go to the forest, the animals are going to eat us. If we don't even have the capabilities to go and build a house for ourselves, a hut or something like that in the forest. And animals are going to eat us. People are going to eat us. Right. And by the way, where are the forests these days?
There is no forest.
Right. So but otherwise they used to say 50, and then after 50, what is that in Hindi?
75.
No.
75.
No. After 50, come on. What happened to your counting? Okay. After 51?
Bavan.
Bavan.
Okay, then.
53.
So 51 go to 1. 52 go to 1.
Oh.
Very nice.
Right? Yeah. So then also the question that Parikshit Maharaj had asked this wonderful question in Srimad Bhagavatam, where he had said that what is the duty of a man who is about to die? Because he was about to die. And what is the duty of a man throughout his life? And then he said, duty of a man about to die is antakale
Mameva smaranat.
smaran karo, right? Which this chapter is also saying. Ante Narayan Smriti. And then he said, okay, and then what is the duty during the life? He said, Shrotavya Kirtitavyascha. Shrotavya means you listen, and then Kirti is you to speak. What do you listen? Krishna Katha. What do you speak? Krishna Katha. Right? So that is the main duty. If you are looking at duty. Now you might not be doing the duty the whole day like that, like Shrotavya and Kirtitavya. But then you keep it in the back burner always. Listen to some Krishna Katha. And every time that you're doing an action and you're saying that I'm thinking of Krishna, that also means that before you're taking decision, check it out whether Krishna would like you to do that. Check it out. Keep that check always there, right? In your head. And make it a practice. Abhyasa yoga yuktena cetasa nanya-gamina. Abhyas, you have to do the abhyas there. It's important. Right? So you don't have to go to one. You don't have to do any of that. Just stay
But
where
one thing, Mataji, can I just say something?
Mm-hmm.
One thing, at like me, I'm putting myself in that position, okay? My age is not at 50, past 50, 75. I am there. And you said, go one, there's no one. But if, Krishna says also, I think, for a woman, first parents, then husband, then kids, then that's what they say, We go to kids, we stay with them. At old age, our experience, our everything might not be suiting for those younger generation. Is that right? So
Yes,
comes
that's why I said for you, that's why I said for us in Kali Yuga, there is no need to go to the one, right? I said
no, I'm not saying the one.
But what I'm saying is that, just hear me out, right? Once again, what I'm saying is that, so if you're not going to go to one, then how am I doing vanaprastha after 50? How am I doing vanaprastha? So what you don't do in vanaprastha, you stay away from the children. Now the question is, where will I go? I have to live with
which we cannot do.
Yeah, which cannot do. But then there's a song that I used to hear when I was young. It's a romantic song. So there's a man who used to love a woman, and the woman has ditched her, and he's feeling bad about it. So he's singing. So the woman has distanced herself from him. They were friends before, and so he's very bewildered that, I never thought that such a distance can come between us. Right? And so they go to a party where he sees that the lady is with some other man. Has come to the party, right? This happens, right? So many movies we see that. He's saying, "Fasle aise bhi honge, ye kabhi socha na tha. Samne mere wo baitha, aur wo mera na tha." Right? So distance can be maintained even when people are right next to you. Like this man is singing. The girl is sitting right next to me, but there's so much of distance. So that is what you will maintain even if you're living in the family within your family. Do not get too involved. Let go. Let go.
Let go. Yeah.
Your daughter is doing something, let her do.
Yeah, let her do.
Your son is doing something, let them do. You are in vanaprastha.
That's true.
Go and focus inside.
Yeah.
Right? That is vanaprastha for us. When we stop meddling, both externally, like if you say, "Chup baith ja buddhi," right?
That's so rude.
That's tu kya bole buddhi? The buddhi soch rahi hai. No. You have to cleanse your mind also. And how the mind will get cleansed? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare.
It's a medicine.
That's what I'm doing from morning till night.
There you go. There you go. So, things, let go. Look at
But
your daughter.
that is,
look at your daughter, say, I'm not going to mess.
As a human beings, I think it is difficult. I'm not saying that, not doing, but it is very difficult to
practice. Yes, see, Arjuna also said difficult.
Children, when they are 80 or 70 or 80, also they are our children as long as we live. Is that right?
So what? That is what you are thinking. You are not letting them live as an individual soul in their individual body.
No, I'm not saying that. Saying
children.
Anything is different, Mataji.
Don't
Our
say anything.
Feeling I'm talking about. That I feel like children. When they are 80, 70, like feel then, even then.
Yes.
So that is human.
Nice, yeah, it's nice to have feeling of love. What I'm just saying is don't mess up with them.
Yeah, messing up is not that.
Exactly.
That's true. That's true. Messing up.
Let them do.
They won't let us do.
They won't
Messing up.
also let us do, so just keep
Yeah.
your dignity. Yeah.
Nobody, Mataji,
Before they
nobody
say
wants,
something, we should correct ourselves.
Yeah,
Mataji,
those
nobody
days of
wants
correction,
any
those days
kind
of correction are
interference.
gone, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
To be
Yeah,
honest with me, they're not kids, they're adults. Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
you have
that's
to
true.
handle adults as adults. Yeah.
That's true. That is something.
But I still feel it's your duty to guide them and tell them if they are doing something wrong.
Hare
if it
Krishna,
Or
causes-
Mataji.
something
if it causes
which you
friction-
think is not appropriate.
Yeah, if
Or
it
if they
causes
need
friction,
something like so I feel that way. I don't know it's right or wrong, but
if it causes friction, then why do it?
If they do something wrong also, what kind of mother raised
See?
you?
as a mother instinct
Then
is
also
that,
mother
that
gets
is
the
don't do
things.
that. That is
Who
the
gives-
first instinct comes.
Yeah. But
But-
you know that then also mother will be blamed.
Varshana,
Yes,
Mataji, who will decide what is wrong, what is right?
that's what I'm just saying. Go to the Shastras and look at the Shastras. The Shastras are telling, Shastras are our guide, Mataji.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is, Shastras are saying, after 50, don't mess up. If the kids come to your advice, if the kids really need advice,
Yeah, they
will
come.
They will come to the forest, right? To take advice. They used to do that,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
If they're not coming to you, what business do we have telling them?
That's true.
They will learn from their own mistakes. But Chana Mataji, you were trying to say something?
Somebody has raised the hand.
No,
I did my
Mataji, I
hand.
don't know. By
It is my
mistake.
hand. It is a super intelligent
That's your
spoon
hand.
thing. Like if I raise my hand like that, it says that I have raised. Like and I
Okay.
lower the hand and it will go away.
Okay.
It is coming on my
Mataji,
screen.
the other day, my personal experience, Mataji, my own daughter, she told me that, Mom, I mean, this is the truth. I mean, and I really liked it, that you have taught us from the beginning how to go about the things. She is now 47 years old. She is mature enough to take her decision, what she wants to do and what she doesn't want to do. And whenever she is in any kind of trouble, she told me, Ma, I will come to you. And she comes to me. She comes to me, Mama, mere ko to na samajh hi nahi aa rahi, main pagal ho gayi hu. So, you see, then she comes to me. But I have decided when I came here that I will not interfere. Whatever they are doing, let them do what they want to do, because I know what I have taught them and they will do the right. And if they have done wrong, oh no, ठोकर खा के बच्चा सीखता है. So let them have a ठोकर also sometime. Then they will learn, because my saying may not have any impact, but what they learn by facing the consequences, they learn it better. This is my experience, and I think also that way. I don't know whether I'm right or wrong. You can correct me.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Should I tell you? Okay, let's go and look at, we'll continue this verse, but we'll look at chapter 9, verse number 9, in the few minutes that are left.
Hmm.
Shall we?
Yes,
Or
Mataji.
shall we not? Let's see. Where did I lose my chapter? What happened to my chapter? Here we go, chapter 8. So which verse are we doing today?
9.
All right. I'm bringing up
I
chapter
should
9,
meditate.
verse 9. Yes. Okay. So, good discussions, good discussion points, learnings for us here. And is Sutapa leaving us?
No, Mataji.
Okay. Subodhini joined us, is it? Okay. All right. So let me share my screen here. Kaviṁ purāṇam anuśāsitāram aṇor aṇīyāṁsam anusmaret sarvasya dhātāram acintya-rūpam āditya-varṇaṁ tamasaḥ parastāt kaviṁ purāṇam anuśāsitāram aṇor aṇīyāṁsam anusmaret sarvasya dhātāram acintya-rūpam āditya-varṇaṁ tamasaḥ parastāt. Kavim, one who knows everything. Purāṇam, the oldest. Anuśāsitāram, the controller. aṇoḥ, then the atom. aṇīyāṁsam, smaller. anusmaret, always things of. Yaha, one who. Sarvasya, of everything. dhātāram, the maintainer. Acintya, inconceivable. Rūpam, whose form. āditya-varṇam, luminous like the sun. Tamasaḥ, to darkness. Parastāt, transcendental. Translation: one should meditate upon the Supreme Person as one who knows everything, kavim, as he who is the oldest, purāṇam, who is the controller, anuśāsitāram, who is smaller than the smallest, aṇor aṇīyāṁsam, who is the maintainer of everything, sarvasya dhātāram, and who is beyond the material conception, who is inconceivable, acintya-rūpam, and who is always a person. He is luminous like the sun, āditya-varṇam, and he is transcendental, tamasaḥ parastāt, right? Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The process of thinking of the Supreme is mentioned in this verse. The foremost point is that he is not impersonal or void. One cannot meditate on something impersonal or void. That is very difficult. The process of thinking of Krishna, however, is very easy and is factually stated herein. First of all, the Lord is Purusha, a person. We think of the person Ram and the person Krishna, and whether one thinks of Rama or Krishna, what he is like is described in this verse of Bhagavad-gita. The Lord is Kavi, that is, he knows the past, present, and future, and therefore he knows everything. He is the oldest personality because he's the origin of everything. Everything is born out of him. He is also the supreme controller of the universe, and he is the maintainer and instructor of humanity. He is smaller than the smallest. The living entity is 1/10,000th part of the tip of the hair. Living entity means that that's the size of the soul. But the Lord is so inconceivably small that he enters into the heart of this particle. Therefore, he is called smaller than the smallest. As the Supreme, he can enter into the atom and into the heart of the smallest and control him, anuśāsitāram, as the super soul. Although so small, he is still all-pervading and is maintaining everything. By him, all these planetary systems are sustained. We often wonder how these big planets are floating in the air. It is stated here that Supreme Lord, by his inconceivable energy, is sustaining all these big planets and systems of galaxies. The word achintya, inconceivable, is very significant in this connection. The Lord's energy is beyond our conception, beyond our thinking jurisdiction, and is therefore called inconceivable or achintya. Who can argue this point? He pervades this material world and yet is beyond it. We cannot comprehend even this material world, which is insignificant compared to the spiritual world. So how can we comprehend what is beyond? Achintya means that which is beyond this material world, that which our argument, logic, and philosophical speculation cannot touch, that which is inconceivable. Therefore, intelligent persons avoiding useless argument and speculation should accept what is stated in scriptures like the Vedas, Bhagavad-gita, and Srimad Bhagavatam and follow the principles they set down. This will lead one to understanding. Nice verse, Bert. Beautiful verse. What do you say?
Yes.
We agree.
Okay, class dismissed. Right? So,
Follow the Bhagavad-gita and Bhagavatam.
right. Follow the scripture. That's what we heard, right?
They set down all the things. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you very much, Mataji.
There you go.
The next sloka is also very good. Prayanakale Chamanachalena.
So, I mean, one of the things that Prabhupada mentioned and emphasized over here is that he's always a person. right?
Mm.
Luminous
Yeah.
like the sun. So in the previous verse where they were saying is that tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yuddhacha. So now you have to anusmara, think about him, right? So once in a while, if you're thinking about your daughter, son, husband, wife, whatever, right? So that picture comes to your mind, right? And so now when he's saying tasmat sarveshu kaleshu, think about me, right? So if we really have to sit down and think about Krishna, how will you know what Krishna looks like, right? So this is one way that they're saying that you think about him as with these features. Āditya-varṇaṁ tamasaḥ parastāt is dazzling golden color, right? So how nice it will look like, how nice it will feel to think about someone who's like that. Okay? So the yogis who are doing the meditation, they will meditate on him, kavim. So this that kavim is Kavi is a knowledgeable person. And so what knowledge do you have? Oh, I've read some books on physics, chemistry. No, the knowledge that we're talking about is he knows everything in the past. And that's what we read in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad-gita, where Arjuna was saying that, oh, no, he was telling to Arjuna about many, many births you and I have taken together, and you don't remember, but I remember each and every one.
Yeah.
Right?
That's it.
And Bhavaishani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kaschana. So he says, I know everything, but you don't know. I know the past, the present, and the future. So that's the knowledge that we are talking about, right? So once you think about Krishna like that, having these kind of capabilities, then that humility is going to come into you, because we can't even remember what we had for breakfast yesterday.
That's true.
Right? But Krishna is saying that, he knows everything, past, present, and the future. So when we think of Krishna, it will be easy for us to surrender to Krishna, right? So kavim and then purāṇam. Purāṇam, he is the oldest person.
Yeah.
Now, then you also know that old people are supposed to be wise. So he is kavim, he knows the past, present, future, and then he's the oldest, he's also wise. But then don't think of Krishna as old as a wrinkled person, white hair. No, because that white hair concept, wrinkles and all that, they belong to the material world. Krishna is tamasaḥ parastāt. He's beyond this material world. So he won't look like that. Krishna always looked like a 16-year, maximum 25-year-old, right? Prabhupada says, although he was here, he was a grandfather, great-grandfather when he was in this planet for 5,000 years ago, but he didn't look like a great-grandfather like that, right? So, so although he is old, it's an amazing thing. Now, when people are old, they also become feeble, right? They become feeble. Like, now I can't lift weight. You give me a big watermelon, I will drop it. But then Krishna is handling all these planets are moving, right? Kama Vishya cha bhutani. So in chapter 15, we read that. So he's doing that as well. So we should maintain, or we should think about all this. So he is the oldest, he's the wisest, right? Kavim purāṇam. And so then, because anuśāsitāram, so he also, because he's powerful, he also controls everything, right? So the yogi will start thinking as like that. So again, when you're thinking he's controlling everything, then I better not try to be better than himself, because he's the one who is controlling me, right? So Krishna is saying that, he's the absolute. Although he's old, now here it is like, oh, you're 65, you retire. 2 terms in the parliament, you go out, right? You can't be the president again. So things like that, right? So interesting thing is that although he's so old, he has no retirement age. he stays with us forever, right? So, but the interesting thing again, so when I'm talking about he's so powerful and he is holding all the planetary systems in his hand and he's doing all that, right? So when you think about that, okay, so what sort of a person will that be? There's such a big galaxy, and how does he do that? But again, you hear that contrast, which is aṇor aṇīyāṁsam. Aṇor means atom. So he's smaller than even an atom. Prabhupada says that, the size of the soul is 1/10,000 of the tip of a hair. So how small is the soul? And he enters into the soul, so how much more small is he going to be? Right? So Krishna is there. Krishna is there in our heart. Now, you might then go and say, oh, well, I've studied biology. There are some people who don't have a heart. So how do they live in that heart, right? It's very natural for intelligence to have this kind of doubt. Does he really live in everybody's heart? What if he doesn't have a heart, right? So you just understand that heart is that region where the activity happens and motion happens through which. So every insect, even an amoeba, will have some place from where the motion is happening for them. So the Krishna will go and reside. in that particular area, in that particular heart, right? But he's there in every place, everybody's thing. What is going to be the size of it, right? Like if will Krishna be in an elephant, will Krishna be in a very big size? Will Krishna be in a very big size in a elephant? Paramatma be very big, and will it be smaller in an ant or whatever? So they just our Shastras give an example, and it's in Srimad Bhagavatam. I don't remember which verse. I think somewhere in second or third canto. He says it's the size of a thumb. Again, the question will be: so what if person doesn't have a thumb? So you have to read these Shastras with that understanding that they're giving a general idea to you that, okay,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
body, super soul will be like this. Okay. And, if the size is like this, you just, you can just extrapolate and calculate how much big it will be. Like, it's about that much. He's saying that. And then we see that amazing thing is that he can control. Although he's very small, he can control. And the classic example of that is Uttara.
Uttara is, I guess I was just
right.
thinking
Uttara
of
was
that.
pregnant, and Ashwatthama had kept the Brahmastra, right, thrown the Brahmastra to her, and to kill the child in the womb. And Krishna was, as the Paramatma, just goes there and then saves the womb, saves the child from such powerful thing as a Brahmastra that was given, right? So, so we have to just remember.
The size of a thumb, Mataji, no?
Say that again. Yeah.
He was of a size.
Yeah, he saw that like that, right? Yeah. So then we, sarvasya dhātāram, acintya-rūpam. So that's why it becomes achintya. It's very difficult. He's so small, he's so powerful, he's able to lift this, go over the hill, this and that, right? So then the yogis, now this is more for the yogis. Okay, so for the yogi need to know the power. Krishna has got power. Whereas for the bhaktas are just relishing that Yashoda Maya is running and Krishna is saying, don't beat me, don't beat me, don't beat me. They enjoy that thing, right? Why would somebody who's anuśāsitāram, somebody who's controlling everybody, why is he not able to control Yashoda Maya, right? So that is the bhava which is there between the bhaktas. And I don't know if you noticed or not, or if anybody noticed or not, you guys read the whole chapter of chapter 8, and only things that you would talk about will be the bhakti sections of that chapter. Right? You just talked about how bhakti is so good. Somebody said, Vedeshu, Yagyeshu, Tapesu, Cheva. You chose that one. Somebody said, there are so many ways of living this world, but the bhakta doesn't care. Those are the 3 answers that you gave. Because bhaktas think in a different way. Bhaktas won't be talking about anuśāsitāram and all that. Bhaktas will be doing their anuśāsitāram. Bhaktas control ultimately. Krishna gets controlled by the bhaktas. So you need to keep that in mind as well, right? So sarvasya dhātāram, this is something very, very important that we have to keep that in mind. That a person might think that I am the controller. I control everything. I've got the money. I am in farming. I have got orchards and I grow fruits and I sell the fruits. I get the money, and then my family, I sustain my family because of that. But one thing you just remember is that you can buy an orchard, but you cannot buy rain. You cannot buy sunshine. You cannot stop a tornado. Right? And who is controlling that? Oh, demigods are controlling, not even Krishna. Krishna controls those demigods, right? So he's like the super controller that we have here in this material world, right? So when we start thinking about all these features of Krishna, so somebody is very powerful, somebody is smaller than the smallest, and is glowing in color and all that. So how do I understand that? With this intellect, we cannot understand. Acintya-rūpam, āditya-varṇaṁ, acintya-rūpam, tamasaḥ parastāt. But we also have to remember that he is beyond the material world. Tamasaḥ parastāt means tamas is ignorance, so ignorance of the material world, and he is beyond that. He's beyond that material world. So it's a nice, beautiful verse that you can remember. And then he will say that several times. Kaviṁ, purāṇam, anuśāsitāram, aṇīyāṁsam, anusmared, sarvasya dhātāram, acintya-rūpam, āditya-varṇam, tamasaḥ parastāt. So this is in response to the questions that Arjuna had asked. So we will spend time in the next class that you're going to have on how we will try to, once we read read the chapter in a structured manner so that we don't just remember the last 3 verses of the chapter, right? We'll address that part. But he's all powerful. He's kaviṁ purāṇam. Purāṇam means he's the oldest, right? He's the older than the oldest. Why? Because aham sarvasya prabhavo matta
Mata
sarvam
sarvam pravartate.
right? So everything emanates from him. So that's why he has to be the oldest, right? But he doesn't have wrinkles. He has good wrinkle remover system. Actually, there are no wrinkles formed, so there's no question of removal like that. Okay, so I will stop here. And so Komal Late Mataji, I'll give you a call a little later. There's an emergency escalation that I need to handle.
No worries. Next time also is fine. I can ask you on Sunday.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, if you're available, I'd love to talk and talk to you today and answer your questions.
Yeah. Okay.
Any reflections, any thoughts, any comments, any questions? And welcome, Subodhini Mataji.
Mataji, I need to leave. I need the permission.
Sutapa, yes, you always have my permission. Thank you so much for
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Mataji,
Hari
thank
Bol.
you so much.
Kalpadurvasya kripa sindhu
Vecha patitanam pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
namo.
Gaur
Premanande.
Hare Krishna Mataji, best class as
Hare
usual.
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
We have to say it. We have to say it.
all right.
Enjoy it.